Okay, I think I'm live. I'm waiting to see if that is true. Let me know. I see that Bailey and Peter are here. Hi, Bailey. Hi, Peter. Stephanie was here. I don't think she's here anymore, though. And, oh, there it goes. Hi. Hi, Gloria. Okay, sorry. I'm. This is gonna be clunky. This is gonna be weird. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, Hi. How's Nano going? Um, I see that Bailey is working on her middle grade horror. I love that. I love middle grade in general, but middle grade horror has like a special place in my heart. If you don't know, I'm also working on horror. Mine's a YA horror. It's a haunted house story, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. What is everyone else working on? There have been quite a few like really good middle grade horrors. I really like the Prosper Redding series by Alexander Bracken. Really, really like that one. V.E. Schwab also has a good one. City of Bones, I think, is the first one. I really, really love that one. Definitely, they can definitely handle some scariness. I started watching horror when I was in elementary school, so definitely middle grade can handle some horror. Some family stuff has come up I've been dealing with, and I haven't really been feeling like writing. Managed to sit down for a few minutes and write a little something go though. That's awesome, Gloria. I feel you. Uh, all last month was dealing with some family stuff and just craziness, and it's so good to get that little bit of writing time in. That's awesome. Ooh, I haven't heard of that one. What's that one about, Bailey? Working on a YA fantasy comedy horror with some horror in it. That's awesome. Moving the chat over. So I'm going to write down on my phone because I want to read more middle grade horror. Hello, Word Stitch. What is your name? What would you like to be called? Or do you prefer to be called Word Stitch? It's a new middle grade horror about this group of kids that start going missing while playing a game of hide and seek. That's awesome. I love that. That's so cool. Mine starts out in the prologue. This group of three girls are in middle school. The rest of the book takes place their freshman year of college, but that first bit when they're in middle school is really fun and kind of makes me want to write more middle grade in the future. All right. Hi, Chloe. Fun fact, my mom almost named me Chloe, um, but I got stuck with Kristen instead. All right. I think I want to get started kind of right off the bat with some sprints. So let me know if you want a 10, a 15, a 20, or a 30. And I have already written about 500 words today, but I I need to get some more in because I'm trying to hit 75K for this month, but it's been a struggle, especially with election stress. So that's why we're just jumping right off the bat and getting into it now. All right, so 15. All right, let me pull that up 1 second. Sorry. And I think that's it. Do full screen. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to do 15 minutes. Ready, set, let's do it. All right, 15 minutes is up. Let me know how you did. I got 567 words of hot garbage. uh, yeah, that was not a great scene, but good amount of words, so that works. We got, let's see, 269. Not bad at all. I feel you. I'm in the same boat. I don't know what the scene is going to look like. This is a very not outlined scene that I'm working on as well. I feel you, Bailey. That was me all day yesterday. I sat down and it took like probably 4 or 5 hours to get the words in just because I could not stop refreshing Google. And even now, I am struggling not to refresh it. But we won't know the results right now. So I'm holding on to that. Chloe got 460 and finished a fight scene. That's always fun. I miss writing fight scenes. That was the fun part about writing fantasy that I kind of miss. There's not a whole lot of fight scenes in this horror. Well, there's one big one at the end, but still. I'm on the last chapter of my first act, and I'm so excited to finally get to the second act. I'm doing the same thing. I've checked AP, CNN, NBC, even Fox a bazillion times the past 2 days. Yup, yup, that's a great idea. I put Twitter on like a whole other screen on my phone. I like told myself I wasn't allowed to go on anything and then just couldn't help it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yesterday was a hard day. Nice. I could never write anything like by hand. Even writing on my iPad. It's just it hurts. I don't understand people that can handwrite. But all the power to you. I pray for your wrists. And I'm sorry if you can hear anything banging in the background. My husband is doing dishes. I'm also so let me tell you about my day. It's been really interesting. So I went and wrote with my mom for like 2 hours. She's in school to be a occupational therapist. And so she has like a ton of homework all the time. So we met up and we went and I was writing and she was working on homework and that was really great. And then I get home and I have my laptop and my phone and these new mugs that my mom had given us as like a gift in my hands. And it was dark in my living room and there was a sock on the floor that had fallen out of the laundry and I stepped on it and I slipped and I completely ate shit. And so now like my knee is like triple the size it's supposed to be and it's great. That's been my afternoon. That been right before it was time to start. So that's what we're dealing with today. It's been fun. Peter, I'm still playing catch up. I skipped day 2, and on day 5, I'm still paying for it. I have about 1K more to catch up. You can do that though. 1K isn't that big a deal, but you got this. You get that done. If we have a couple more sprints, we might even be able to get it done in this stream. I'm going to be deciphering later. I feel that. Can usually only get handwritten stuff down while brainstorming. Yes, I really, really like handwriting during brainstorming, but can't I can't do it for very long. Yes, it was very sweet. She got us Mr. and Mrs. mugs and they're very cute. I love them. I'm very, very glad they did not shatter or that nothing in my hands shattered, because that could have been really, really bad. Is fingers crossed bad luck? I've never heard that before. And I'm sorry if you see the gnat. I don't know why there's a gnat in here, but it's driving me insane. All right, have fun. Thank you for joining. I just finished chapter 5. Good job. Do you have a name that you'd rather be called, or Princessa is fine as well? I can call you that. All right, see you later, Gloria. If not, I'm streaming again on Sunday. I had never heard that. That's interesting. The more you know. On my wedding day, we were waiting for my husband to bring the car around, and a giant crow just landed right next to me, and we hung out for like 10 minutes. And my sister-in-law was like, "Is that bad luck?" And I was like, "It's Halloween, so I think it cancels out." But also, I just like, I'm a Scorpio. I think all like bad omens cancel out for me. Hello, Vicky. I love that name. It's a cute name. I agree. I'm not super into like crystals or anything, but I found out that opal is actually like a really, really powerful crystal, and like most people can't handle it, I guess, or that like they shouldn't use it. Um, but for people born in October, that it has the opposite effect because it's a birthstone. So I thought that was interesting. I still know very, very little about crystals, but I think they're interesting. I think all of that's kind of interesting. It might be an Australian thing, or my mom just put me on it. She's why I had to compulsively retract bad statements or touch wood for good luck. Same. We're always knocking on wood here. What are some weird superstitions that you all have? I'm trying to think, because I have a bunch. I'm a very like superstitious person, very like don't put anything out into the world that you don't want there kind of person. Um, I just think it's very interesting. I think it comes from like being raised like super, super Christian and not being allowed to be into all that. And so now as an adult, I think it's all interesting. Yes. Yes, solidarity. I'm sorry if this stream is like super boring. Talking to yourself to a camera is always kind of hard. And then the delay is also kind of difficult. But we're trying. We're here. And I'm ready for another sprint if y'all are. Do you want to do a longer one or a shorter one? See, that's interesting because I'm autistic. I mentioned it on my channel a couple times. And so when I was getting diagnosed, they thought that I had OCD at first. It was very interesting to see like where that overlaps. It's like OCD and ADHD kind of overlap a little bit with autism. It's interesting. All right, we can do 20. I like 20s are my favorite. Anybody else have an opinion? Give y'all a second. That's awesome, Peter. You have autistic siblings. My little brother isn't autistic, but he has sensory disorder something, where he has a lot of issues, sensory processing disorder, with like his like mental processing of like verbal processing is hard, and then we both have like touch aversion really, really bad. So he cannot touch like paper napkins. He like hates that feeling. He can't do it. I can't touch a cotton. It will drive me insane. And like I'll actually like start like to like get really, really overwhelmed. So it's interesting. All right, then let's go with 20. Let me get that all set up. Bear with me. Okay. I don't know why that's going again. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. I think that's going. Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry. This is the sharing the screen part is very confusing. Share screen. Chrome tab. 20. Yeah. Cool. Full screen. Perfect. All right. Let's get started. All right. 20 minutes is up. Let me know how you did. I lost my chat. Trying to find my chat. Wow. Perfect. Sorry, 1 second. I don't know if any of you guys have Macs, but I am forever losing the screen I'm supposed to be on because I go into a different screen and then it just goes away. Yeah. Struggle bussin'. Good Lord. All right. I got it. Okay. We're good. Good Lord. All right. Bailey got 270. Got to a really fun and creepy scene, but I keep getting distracted. Oh, I cannot wait till I get to creepy scenes. So jealous. But don't be too hard on yourself. We're all gonna be distracted for a hot minute. Until we get those results, it's just distractions everywhere. Vicky got 470. That's awesome. Kiara got 30 words in 1 minute. That's awesome. Hope you're doing well as well, Kiara. I love the little strawberries. It's a cute icon. Chloe got 429. And that she is done for the night. That is okay. I feel you. I'm kind of getting close to being done as well. I'm at just under 2,000 words for the day. Let me see what I wrote during that stream or that sprint. 1 sec. I got 816. Jeez. That was a lot of dialogue. That's probably why. Yeah, I got 816. Peter got 449. Nice job. And finished your inciting incident. I feel like inciting incidents are always kind of lackluster in the first draft, but you'll get there. It's cool. I have a section in a Scrivener of revision notes, and so far it's all in draft 2. Make this scene better, flesh out this scene, give more atmosphere, make it more compelling. So it is what it is. Thank you, and thank you again. Yeah, I don't know how I wrote that much in that amount of time because honestly, I got real distracted by text messages. So don't know what happened there, but I'm happy that it did because the faster I can be done writing today, the better. I've been writing until midnight every night this week. I keep updating my Nano website at like 11:59. So it'd be nice to be done early today. It'd be great. What time do you guys enjoy writing? I used to be a morning writer before COVID and used to love getting up early and I had all this inspiration in the morning. And then since COVID, I cannot be bothered to get up in the morning and we'll have plans to write like throughout the day. And it just won't happen until my husband goes to bed. That's usually when I get the urge to write. So I've been having to leave and go into the office at like 12 at night and get writing done then. Peter says he needs 900 more to catch up. That's really relieving to hear that's common for inciting incidents. I've been real frustrated writing this first chapter. No, yeah, first drafts are all garbage. You just got to get the story out there. You just have to get it out, and then in draft 2, you can turn it into slightly less of a mess. And then you just keep doing that until it becomes, an actual good manuscript. You're just like slightly less shit every draft. Kiara says that she writes exclusively at 3 a.m. Yep, that's about right. If I lived alone, I probably would write at 3 a.m. About 3 a.m. is when Evan would probably wake up and like come yell at me because he would like me to come to bed. Oof, Peter reads at 4 a.m. That's early. That related at 11 a.m. Okay. Yeah, when I had a job, because no longer have one, thanks COVID, I used to wake up at like 5 and right before work. And I loved doing that. I loved like early mornings and you'd have your coffee and it was, like very atmospheric and, writerly. I could not be bothered to do that. Nope. Bailey used to be a night writer, but more of a morning writer now. Get more done in the mornings, definitely. But I enjoy writing more at night. Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like I'm more productive in the morning. Probably because no one else is awake. So there's no one to like distract me. But writing is more fun at night. I agree. I also feel like I don't know how parents get anything done, like parent writers, because even with just having a cat and a dog, I feel like I'm constantly having to like deal with them when I'm trying to write. Which is why I locked them out. My door is shut. Neither one of them are in here. Because I know that my dog would be jumping up on me wanting attention. But it is what it is. Oh, should take that banner down, huh? Let's see. Right. Everyone being around is so distracting. No, that was the one good thing about living alone. That was really nice. But, I wouldn't change it. I can write really early or really late, no midpoint. Yep, that sounds about right. I tried so many times this year to make a like schedule, trying to live that like full-time writer life, and it never happened for me. I did, I think it was Hudson McCarthy was the first one that did it. She did like a routine based off of your Enneagram, and I attempted to do that video. It never got published, but I did the routine, and I am an ISFP. And basically, if you're an ISFP, that means that you are not good at routines and you shouldn't have a routine. And basically, just make a to do list and hope for the best. And so I did that, and it was really fun, fun day, but I didn't get anything done either. So there needs to be somewhere in the middle that I can get work done, but also not want to die because I hate routines. But I've been trying. I got close to having a good routine last month. That was my goal for last month, was to find a routine that fit. And it kind of worked, but then I got out of the habit because I got busy. Yeah, you're terrible routines, Bailey. Sorry, I'm like trying to like look at the YouTube chat and the Stringer chat are at different speeds, and so I'm trying to like figure out where I'm supposed to be looking. But yeah, also terrible. Always have been terrible with routines. I found that since I started doing a bullet journal, that's been my favorite way of kind of keeping myself on task, is just have bullet points of all the things I need to get done that day. But I feel like if you're good at routines, you also are really good with like judging how long things will take you. Because that's like my biggest thing is like I'll think that something will take me an hour, but it'll take me like 4. And so then my whole routine's messed up. So you just can't have like timed routines, is for me personally. Peter says, I swing between ENFP and INFP. I did the test for my main character and it was fun to see what kind of person he was. Yes, I love personality tests. They're my favorite. But I always found that the Myers-Briggs was a very long test to be doing for every character. So I found that Enneagram is my favorite way to do personality tests for my characters. And I do plan on having a video on this eventually. But once you know the Enneagram number for your character, you know their motivations, you know basically what they're going to choose to do in any given situation. So like for me personally, I'm a 9, and my core desire is for peace. And so I'm non-confrontational. I don't like to debate. I just want everyone to be happy. I'm kind of a pushover, that kind of deal. And so if I was writing a 9 character, that's how they would be. And I would know that all of their reactions to things are colored by their desire to have peace and their desire to have peace around them and not having confrontation. Um, so it's just really interesting. I love personality tests. I'm a very big like character sheet person. I know it's a controversial because a lot of people hate character sheets. But I've always just loved it. It goes back to role playing on Neopets in elementary school. Is where I developed my love for that. Bullet points are the best for me too, but exactly me too. I cannot judge how long things take. Yep, exactly. It is so hard. I need to something I learned in it was like Kate's video of writing like Emily Bourne, so it's from Emily Bourne. But she in her planner or her bullet journal writes down how long things take her, and so she can learn the average times things take. And I thought that was so smart, and it sounds like a pain in the ass to do, but that would be so helpful if I knew, generally how long things took me. You gotta speed run that like a pro gamer. He was ISTJ-T. Stress the turbulence. Oh, love it. Yeah, I think my MC is probably IS hmm, ESTJ. I think she falls into that, and she's probably more of a 7 wing 9 for Enneagram because she likes people, but she also likes having her own space. Yes, totally try it. It might help. I'm just trying to, get my shit together this year, man. That's what I mean. It's you got to have a grain of salt and like some grace with yourself because it's COVID and 2020 is a dumpster fire. But just trying to figure out how to be, the ideal person I could be. So that's been my goal this year. But COVID has thrown a wrench in that severely. And I think we're gonna do one more sprint in a little bit after I answer Peter's question as soon as it pops up so I can click on it. Totally, I can totally talk about that. So I have thought about the pen name thing. I still have no answer. I still don't know. I have a list on my phone of names that I like, but finding one that fits me is really, really hard. Especially like last names too, because I liked Alexa's method of like going in her ancestry and finding a name from her ancestors from generations past and using that so it's still a family name. My problem with that is that I'm my mom's side of the family is Mexican, and so I would love to take my grandma's maiden name and go with Casillas, but then I'm gonna look like a white girl trying to be Mexican, and so I can't do that. And then on my dad's, the names are really boring and lame, so I can't do that either. But I didn't know that your name was a pen name, Bailey. That's cool. Or is Bailey your real name, or do you have which one's your pen name? Um, yeah, I like the idea of pen names, but it is also kind of hard when you've already kind of have, a little platform going. So I'm still not sure. I'm still undecided. I would love to figure out a pen name, but who knows? I love it. Leatherman reminds me of Leatherface, which is a classic horror movie icon. I love that. I have a Leatherface shirt that I like wearing. And which is why I do like Leatherman. I think Leatherman is a cool name. Um, but I don't know. I'm not super connected with that side of the family, which is the only reason I would probably change it. Ooh, Bailey Pepper is your pen name. That's such a cute pen name and it fits you perfectly. See, like I need a name that like you would not be able to guess as a pen name because I would have never guessed that was your pen name. That's smart. Do something derivative or similar to your family name. That is such a cool name. Thank you. I have been made fun of for it my entire life, because of, like, David Letterman and, we have a local ice cream place called Leatherby's, so everyone always made fun of my name and, like, called me Leatherby or call me, whatever, leather whatever. Um, but I do like my last name. I think my last name is pretty cool. My middle and last name is supposed to start with M, so I think something with initials will be fun and real authory. Yes, I originally did have KM Leatherman as my name on here, and I thought that was going to be my pen name, especially because I was writing fantasy, so it kind of fit. Um, but then nobody knew what to call me, which is why I changed it to Kristen. Even though calling me K would have been perfectly fine, but it's neither here nor there. Took a lot of time to figure out, but you definitely want to make sure it's something you really like. Alexa Dunn mentioned how ideal it is to use our first name or something close. Yeah. That's my issue is like Kristen is a name that I don't like. So that's my problem. But oh well, we'll figure it out. I have time. I'm not publishing anything anytime soon. And realistically, I'm probably just gonna be lazy and never change it and just be like, whatever. If I start writing a different genre, I'll figure out then. Hello, Stephanie. You're just in time for our last sprint. My knee is killing me and my computer's gonna die. So let's do you want to do 15 or 20, guys, for our last one? Get out of here around like 6:30. The stupid knee. As if I don't have any other thing to worry about right now. It's like this size, like I have like this golf ball or like it's like softball now. Jeez, size like lump under my kneecap now. It's really cute. I really love it. All right, let's do 20. Let's go hard, Peter. All right, let me get that set up. Bear with me while I struggle for a minute. Okay, cool. All right, let's get writing. All right. That is the last sprint done. How did y'all do? Peter got 168 words written because I got distracted with text, but I finished chapter 1. Finally, it's really taken 5 days. About 500 more words until I caught up. Good job. You're doing it. First chapter is always really hard for me too, but you'll get there. You just got to keep plugging at it. These sprints are really helpful too. Just start watching a bunch of live streams and you'll get there. Oh my goodness, your chapter is 8,000 words. That is a long chapter. All of my chapters are like 200 or 2,500 or less. That is quite the long chapter. Bailey got 615. That's awesome. I got 758, and I finished Act 1, which makes me very happy. And I got to write my first ghost, which also makes me very happy. Love the creepy scenes. But yeah, those last like 2 chapters were a hot mess. Other than the creepy ghost part, that's gonna need to be rewritten. Okay. I lost the chat. There it goes. Streamer takes forever for the chat to pop up so I can like show it on the screen. But Peter says my chapter is only about 8K. You've got that already. Okay, usually they're 12 to 15K. I write a lot. I'm an overwriter. The Santa has been back for me. That is some long chapters. I'm curious, have you edited a novel before? Because that sounds like so much to go through. How long do your novels tend to be? That's so much, so many words. Yay for the ghosts, and congrats on your first ghost. That should be a word. They should have a Nano badge for first haunting, because that would be really fun. And my ghost haunting scenes are like my favorite scenes too. They're so fun. I love writing scary shit. The first time I'd ever written a horror was in 6th grade. My 6th grade teacher had us do like a writing contest, and we submitted our like short stories, and whoever won could win things like an apple pie or something weird. But it was the first like short story I had ever really written, like to be like submitted into anything. And I wrote a horror thriller short story about a girl who's home alone and someone breaks into her house, and it's like this like crazy, like she's hiding from him and all this crap. I wish I still had that story because when I remember it was kind of crazy. But I submitted it for this like short story competition in our class, and I won. And afterward, we were having like a pizza party that day. It was like the end of the school year. And my teacher told me that his 2nd grader, his daughter, read the story and she had nightmares. And I am not ashamed to say that like the serotonin that I got from scaring a 2nd grader was great. Probably the reason I still write horror. I love scaring people. It's just, I don't know. It's fun. When my mom read the first draft of this, the first time I wrote this story, it was like completely different. But the first time she read it, she also told me that like she couldn't stop thinking about one of the scenes because it was so creepy. And like, I love that. All right, and then Kiara got 390. Good job. Yep, creepy scenes are my favorite. Mine too. They're so fun. I try not to edit as I write. Need to complete to edit, of course. But of course, I've read them over. My process is always write whatever, and as much as I want for draft 1, add more in 2, and edit in 3. That's smart. I like that. Sounds like so much fun. Yep. The chapters are huge because I followed Kai Tassik's 27 chapter method, but now I'm using Save the Cat. Chapters just go as much as I feel like. That's good. Whatever works. I mean, everyone's process is different. I used to write like really, really short chapters. They'd all be like 1,000 words or less because I really like short chapters. But recently I've been beefing them up a little bit more. So I have something to work off of. The best compliment. Yes, it's such a good compliment. It's so fun. I mean, that's kind of like the point of being an author, like you writing stories and like being a storyteller, is like you want to make your readers feel something. At least like for me, that's what I want. Like, and even though like not all authors want to scare their readers, knowing that your writing has evoked some emotion is like really cool and like a really, really great compliment. I remember a film I made for class had my little sister up at night talking to my mom about it because she couldn't sleep, saying the dancing man would get her. It was a breakdance claymation. Oh no, claymations are creepy though. I like claymations, but they do kind of creep me out. Like the Christmas ones, especially. They're really, really, really creepy. Short chapters are my favorite. I try to keep them around 1,500 words max, but I'll start middle grade. Yeah. That's like one of the things I think I would like about writing middle grade too, is that shorter chapters. But yeah, I like having like a decent sized chapter and then like a really, really punchy like short chapter right after it. Like I love that. Like I like varying lengths, especially like when reading, but also when writing. Tiara says, I'm writing a dual perspective and one of my characters' chapters are insanely short, like 300 words. I'm going to need to beef it up in the second draft. As long as you get something down, like you can work off it in the second draft. That's what I always, even if I don't have a complete thought, if I get just some of it down, I have something to work off of. So that's what matters. Peter says, I have to put the horror label on this until I edit because I know it'll end up scaring away this kind of thing I'm working about. Nice. Those are great. Love reading books with those kinds of chapters. Yep, me too. And then when I first started writing this, I was planning on doing an epistolary format, which is like when you have like interviews and pictures and stuff like that in it. And I just love those books. I'm trying to think of like the ones that have it. I know Dawn Kurtagich, she's a horror writer. All of her books have it. Illuminae is written like that. Technically, like all of the like diary format stories for like middle grade are epistolary. It's just like a type. It's like the book has elements that are not just like straight prose. I love it, and I do kind of want to go back and like make that happen for this, but it's really hard to do in the first draft, especially. But it's like I really want to do it someday at least. I like my chapters to be kind of their own beats, an adventure or journey in each one. Of course, the overall plot going through them. That makes sense. I mean, makes sense to me. Again, everyone has their own way of doing things. 39 Clues had that too. Okay, that sounds familiar, but I'm not 100%. I'm not sure. And The Lake of the Woods has a cool format like that, even though the book itself wasn't my favorite. See, that was the thing too, is books that have that extra element, even if it's not my favorite book, having that extra thing brings it up like a star for me. Because it's entertaining, even if the prose especially isn't like groundbreaking. I've never written epistolary chapters before, but they're a lot of fun to read. Yeah, they're really, really fun. They're really hard to write for me, especially. I tried in like the first draft of this that I wrote like 2 years ago, a year ago. I had like blog posts and newspaper clippings and stuff like that. And they're fun, but they're hard. Especially like formatting is also hard because like I don't know what to do with that. But yeah, it's hard. And so I think for this, I'm just kind of getting it written, and we'll go back to that later if I want to. Okay, 39 Clues was a middle grade series, each book written by different authors. Every kid loved it. There's so many books. Oh, that sounds awesome. I love that. See, I kind of missed the middle grade boat when I was for the age of middle grade, because I was one of those kids that like the adults were like, oh, she reads at a college grade level. So like I had like older books. I was also exposed to older books pretty young. So I was reading, way above my grade level when I was in like middle school, elementary school. And so I didn't read a whole lot of middle grade then. But now as an adult, I go back and read, Rick Riordan and, all the middle grade that I missed out on. And just like, it's so good. Like, I love it so much. And I can't wait for like my goddaughter to be old enough to get into it, because there's some great ones out there. I wrote a short story a while back that alternated between police interrogation transcripts and flashbacks as a murder mystery. It was so fun to write. One of the favorite things I've ever done. That sounds awesome. I love that. I read last month or 2 months ago, Harrow Lake by Kat Ellis. It's like a newer horror. And she has like an interview at the very beginning and the very end. And I loved how that like brought the whole story together. It was so cool. I got bumped out of middle grade books pretty young too. We had this color system where the books were color coded and you weren't allowed to check out books. Yes, yes, we did that too. Yeah, that made it stupid. I think like we just be able to read what we want to read. And there's also like a very like the popular girls read like the Babysitters Club, and like the weird girls read Animorphs, like stuff like that, and it's just like so stupid. And like my best friend and I, we were nerds. We used to hang out in the library during our lunch, like we were super nerds in elementary school. And oh god, what was the book that I'm trying to see if it's still on the shelf. She found some book that was like King Arthur inspired, and I thought that book was the coolest thing ever. I need to find it because I need to reread those books. I don't have them anymore. But yeah, definitely missed out on like the cool middle grades back then. Also, don't think Rick Riordan was really writing back when I was in middle school, or he wasn't as popular, because I don't remember like Percy Jackson back then. That was more when I was like older. I had middle grade and YA at the same time when I was around middle grade age. When I got older, YA had the romance boom, which I really didn't like, and so I stopped reading like until now. Yeah, yeah, I'm the same way. I just got really into online horror stories, and like, yes, I had a huge phase of like creepy pastas and like the SCP stuff. Thought that was so interesting. Having a blast reading middle grade as an adult, yes, definitely. I'm Canadian. That's so crazy. We didn't have restrictions, but boys tend to stick to rainbow magic, and girls girls tend to stick to rainbow magic and kissing, and boys to Wimpy Kid. My brother loved Wimpy Kid. It was helpful to know what was your grade level, but also frustrating when I wanted to read things that wasn't level. Yeah, that makes no sense to me. I mean, banning books in general is just like stupid to me. Yeah, we should have been able to read whatever we wanted. Yeah, yeah, I read this as an adult too. My husband was really into Suzanne Collins's middle grade books before Hunger Games. It was like his favorite series. On our very first date, we went to Barnes and Noble, and I remember he was like going around the whole store trying to find those books to show me what he like. That those are his favorite books. But he couldn't find them because they don't sell those anymore because they're so old. Now my shelves are only for much younger ages. Twilight has some Harry Potter, but I never got to buy them. I was never allowed to have Harry Potter as a kid either, so my Harry Potter books I bought as an adult, and now they're in a corner and I'm not displayed. Creepypasta was the best. Is probably why I am the way I am. Let's just blame Jeff the Killer Card. Yes. Oh, and then I don't know if you guys know who Adam Ellis is. He's like a cartoonist. He had like a Twitter series going where it was talking about his like haunted apartment, and it was portrayed as being real. And it was, oh god, what's the kid's name? This like creepy child ghost was haunting his apartment in this like Twitter thread, and it went on for months, and it was so creepy, and there was like pictures, and the pictures terrified me as a kid. I do have like an allusion to that story in my book, that it's like in the very first chapter. That scared me unlike anything I've ever read before, and it was just like a Twitter thread. And he sold it to some movie production company, so hopefully that'll be made into a movie someday. Judy Blume was my favorite middle grade author. Yes, I like, my mom loves Judy Blume, so she bought me like a bunch of those books when I was a kid. I'm still making my way through Percy Jackson, but I had a big phase of it, of course. I'm pretty sure the last novels I bought before the genre forgot me was The Hunger Games. Yep. Haven't read those. I'd have to look this up. Also, I loved being on dates before COVID. Those were my boyfriend's go-to dates. Yes, they were so fun. It was a very ideal first date. Um, it was kind of, yeah, it was cute. Which I loved is probably why I was so resentful to all the new series. Never liked the Mortal Instruments, and I was such a bastard about it too. Yeah, I really liked Mortal Instruments when I first started reading them, but it was pretty late in the game that I read them. But then the series is just so damn long now. And they're so like the books are so long that I just kind of gave up, even though like I'm sure that I would enjoy them still. Plus, like Cassandra Clare is kind of a super controversial author in general, but yeah, I just kind of lost interest in those. Shout out to the Conspiracy 365 series, made every Aussie kid's childhood. If you were a classic, cool, bro. That's cool. I don't know what countries it showed in, but there is this TV show when I was a kid called Truth or Scare, and then also Mystery or oh god, what's the other one? I don't remember the other one. But there was these two kids shows that were like super freaking creepy, and that was like my jam when I was a kid, and like totally got me into like horror. Plus, like my dad was not like he did not care about like movie ratings, so I started watching horror movies when I was like 7. I was 7 when I saw Freddy Krueger for the first time. So, been into horror my whole life. I own some of the Mortal Instruments and I still won't read them. Yeah, I feel it. It's such a long series at this point. It's like if you're not already invested, honestly, probably wouldn't bother. I mean, there's other series that are just as good. Actually, I've never read the Mortal Instruments. I watched the movie and realized I would love the concept, but I never got around to reading them. There's so many. Yeah, I saw the movie after I'd already read the books, but the concept is really good. Like I really like the concept. It's very sad that their 2 adaptations have been so bad. Mortal Instruments is an endless series that I'm pretty tired of, but it's how I met my current girlfriend, so forever grateful. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. I love when books bring people together. Yeah, it's just I mean I have like 2 whole Cassandra Clare shelves because there's just so many of them. But if you like paranormal, Kelly Armstrong has great books. They're a little bit older than Mortal Instruments, but I think that her books are great. I think they follow kind of like similarly. I like binged all of her books last year, and I'm obsessed. And she's like one of my favorite authors now. Definitely an auto buy. Load. I think my internet is kind of freaking out. The same goes for Throne of Glass. I have like 4 read about 10 pages. And I just can't. I tried a lot. Yeah, I was never super into Throne of Glass. I loved Akotar and Akomath, but yeah, Throne of Glass has never like been my super favorite. I really liked the first one, but then after that, it changes so completely. Like this whole series is so unlike the first book that after that, I just kind of picked them up when I could. And I used to read like a lot more when I was like, listening to audiobooks every day at work. But now that I actually have to like read them, I'm a lot more picky. Okay. Yes, I've no one ever talks about Kelly Armstrong. I think she's so great. It's been amazing. I love her books. My jam was The Ranger's Apprentice by John Flanagan and Artemis Fowl. I never got in Artemis Fowl, but I know like all the smart kids in my elementary school class liked that one. By Irish Fib, that's funny. Yeah, I kind of want to read the Artemis Fowl. It just got made into a movie, I think. Okay, I'm gonna have to wrap up now. I'm sorry. My computer is dying, and that's why everything's lagging. But thank you guys so much for coming to my first live and bearing with me as I kind of like try to figure this all out. You guys are great. And I will be doing another live on Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific. I'll be posting the thumbnail for it probably today or tomorrow. And so you'll be able to see what time that'll be for you. But I hope to catch you then. Thank you guys so much. And I will catch you guys later.